You're now Dana Loesch, NRA spokesperson. Dana, good to see you tonight. I know that this whole conversation was taking place when you were on the air this afternoon on your radio show, and that you listened to it very closely, no doubt. I'm curious what you thought about the whole tone of what this discussion seemed to be centered on.
Right. And Martha, again, thank you so much for talking about this issue. I thought it made for really good TV, but I thought some of what was discussed is going to make for really bad policy that is not going to protect our kids. Now, you heard the president, Martha, say that NRA leadership met with him on Sunday, and on behalf of members, there are two things that were stressed to the president. The first one is that we absolutely have to harden our schools and we have to protect our kids. There are millions of NRA members, and we're parents too. I have kids in school, and so this is an issue that I desperately want to see resolved, which is why we're pushing for action on this as well. The second thing that was stressed to the president is that we also must respect and protect the rights of law-abiding Americans all across the country who right now are being punished for the failures of government. Martha, it wasn't millions of gun owners who were missing the 45 calls to the Broward Sheriff's Office, and it wasn't us who were missing the 2 FBI tips, and it's not innocent law-abiding Americans all across the country who have for decades ignored the mental health crisis in this country. That was the political class. And this same political class right now is coming and telling all of these innocent Americans that we're the ones who have to pay for their failures. And we stressed that to the president. We said, look, I mean, you can't restrict the rights of law-abiding Americans. Understood. And I want to be really clear what we're talking about here. We're talking about punishing innocent Americans and stripping from them constitutional rights without due process, and making them pay for what the political class has done.
I couldn't
Martha.
agree with you more that there needs to be a lot of focus on the errors at the FBI and at law enforcement. It is unbelievable what slipped through these people's fingers, and they need to be held accountable. This is, to me, the scariest part of what happened there. But in terms of the issue, for instance, the 21 issue, does the NRA seem fine with not being able to get a handgun until 21, but you're not in favor of not being able to get a long gun until 21? And it's interesting, just tonight, Walmart came out and made a statement. They said that they will no longer sell guns or ammunition to anyone under the age of 21.
Right. That's the scary thing, because it's not. This isn't actually going to solve the people who are going to be affected by this law, Martha. It's not the 19-year-old gangbanger in Chicago, and it is not the people who are been found mentally unfit and dangerous to themselves and others. The people who are going to be affected by this are people like I was when I was 20 years old and I lived on my own. It would deprive me of any right of any method of defending myself. The people that it's going to affect are the 19-year-old law-abiding American who just wants to go and deer hunt, or the person who maybe wants to do a 3-gun competition with hopes of competing someday. Those are the people that it's going to affect. Future servicemen and women, or current servicemen and women, when they go and they enlist, it's going to affect their ability to protect themselves at home as well. Making people wait doesn't solve psychosis. And once again, we're punishing law-abiding Americans, stripping from them a right without due process,
and giving them the bill of punishment. There needs to be enough in place. I understand. There has to be enough in place to be able to stop this young shooter in Florida from getting a gun that is not connected to his age, because clearly he was on the radar of law enforcement, and clearly he had mental health problems. He was the first to admit it.
And there was an article that came out in the Miami Herald as well, Martha, that discussed, it was talking to Florida prosecutors. And I brought this up at the town hall. There's a Florida law that would have actually allowed law enforcement to arrest this individual and charge him with a felony because he was sending written electronic death threats to classmates. That's a violation of Florida law. And under that law, they could have actually arrested him. They could have looked into this further.
Dana, I want to squeeze in one more question for you, because the president talked about this. I'm sorry. And the president talked about due process today, and he said you have to take away the firearms first and then go to court when you have a question about whether or not the person who has that gun should really have it in terms of their mental stability. Quick thought on that before we go.
Well, the NRA is going to, first off, action and push for action on protecting children. But the NRA is also going to protect due process for innocent Americans. And that is an approach that we are going to hold to. Due process must be respected. And we stress this to the president at the lunch on Sunday. It is a foundational principle of this country. Due process must be protected and it must be respected in terms of going around any solutions.
So
and
let
there
me
are
ask
tons
you,
of solutions.
because there were definitely some differences that came.
We have Eddie Eagle programs, so many, Martha. And I want people, by the way, can I really quickly tell people to check out NRASchoolShield.com. Our resources are at their disposal.
All right. You got a lot of differences with the president. Some similarities, some things you have a lot in common. Do you think that you're going to be able to work this out with him?
We are in lockstep. Martha, we are in lockstep with the president on protecting children. We are in total agreement with him on that.
Everybody's in lockstep.
But we want to respect due process.
Thank you very much, Dana. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Martha.
You bet.